Everyone, and welcome to episode 11. I think it's 11. I'm not sure.
Yes, we are
it is.
at 11
episode
this
11.
time.
It's episode 11 this time of Desperate Gamble, Star Wars Desperate Gamble, running the Edge of the Empire rule set. Hello, hi. How's everybody doing? Last week we ended on a bit of a stressful sort of a cliffhanger. But before we get into that, like, how was your week, friends? Anything enjoyable? Anything
Gosh,
fun?
I wonder
or
if chat
cool?
notices anything fun or different about me. I don't know. Nah, I got my hair cut. I trusted a person outside of my household to do something with my hair for the first time in over a year. So yeah, that was nice.
Nice. It is a good haircut.
Thank you.
Two thumbs way up. They're off camera, but they are way up.
They're off camera because they're so way up.
Yeah, so way up. How about you, Dave? How's your week been? What you been up to?
Pretty good. We got this monitor, this one to my left. I don't know. This one is just streams of kittens. Like 24/7.
So how many monitors do you have, Dave? Can I just...
Just 3.
So you have 3 monitors, and one of them is
Just 3.
One of them is entirely dedicated to streams of kittens.
Yeah.
I mean,
And,
there are worse things you could be using it for. So
yeah, absolutely. And the other one is video games, and then like just Discord, basically. I've been playing some video games.
I'm moving to a 3 monitor system. I just got my my adjustable like arms yesterday, and the actual monitors, I think I'm going to get them next week.
Did you manage to get that arm cheap? Because when I was looking for ones that would fit my screens, it was ridiculous.
I think they were decently priced. I don't know what cheap is for you versus cheap for me. So
I got 3 single arms. And tried to line them up. One of them isn't, and I try and ignore that. And then the gaps, I just have like electrical tape, so I can't see them.
I just got 2 because one of my monitors, I have 2 right now. One of them is getting retired. The other is not compatible with like actual wall mounting, so it's going to get moved over to where my retiring monitor is going to go, and then the 2 other monitors are going to go in front of me.
Such organization. Such vast organization. I have 2 extra monitors that I know can be mounted on walls, but I also have no idea how to set up more than the amount of sockets I have on the back of my computer's number of monitors. So 2 has been great so far. Just fine.
Like
I haven't. I mean, I could look into it. I could figure it out, but my brain is just like, it's a new task. You can't do it.
I haven't actually checked my computer to make sure it can support 3 monitors, but I guess we'll find that out.
That's probably a good thing to know. Yeah, before you purchase an additional one.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. If I have to, I can just get the person who made my computer for me to install another jack.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What?
So I'm looking on this right screen. I've got to tell you something.
Okay.
Because it's been annoying me all day. Been playing the Mass Effect remasters. I'm still on Mass Effect 1 because I've been doing every side quest on every planet. But the Mako sections, I know they're infamous, but I've only encountered them for the first time.
Yeah, me too.
And the way the planets are designed are just like they gave somebody it's like, oh, you've got 3D manipulation tools on this sphere. You just drag them out at random in different directions and just play with it. And then they were like, okay, that's fine. That looks like a planet. We'll just like texture it with some grass and shit. And that's how it is. And it makes me so mad because it's so difficult to drive everywhere. And I don't know.
Half the fun. Driving up a mountain and trying to flip your Mako.
No. It's infuriating.
I agree.
Have you seen a planet, Dave? It's very hard to drive on a planet.
They don't have this and then this and then halfway there's like a triangle and it puts a waypoint on top of a mountain.
I'm issuing you the challenge right now. Try to flip your Mako. Just like have some fun driving around trying to flip it for.
The Mako sections are literal suffering. There's no reason to do. There's no reason to do
So
any of
good.
them. They suck total ass. Just skip them and go straight.
And
I'm
the character I
literally,
wanna
I'm
romance-
literally having chat tell me where to go so I don't have to survey like 800 fucking planets wastefully for hours. Yeah, that's been my strategy. Just a pain in my ass. I hate it so much.
And the character I wanted to romance, I found out from a friend, just doesn't. Is just not interested in female shepherd, and I'm just like,
Rip.
okay, Liara, I guess, but I mean, whatever.
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
I guess. Not
So
Ashley or Caden.
So when you said
God.
when you said you were playing video games, what you meant to say is you were playing the Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
I've been playing Mass Effect and I've been playing Dragon Quest Builders 2 because that
Oh.
game's sick as hell.
I
That
haven't
is a very fun game.
I haven't
Yeah.
heard about that or played it or know anything
I've
about
spent
it.
like 20 hours on just the Green Meadows bit. Everybody's got everything they need. Everybody's got ensuite toilets to their private houses.
Indoor plumbing. It's gonna be big.
Absolutely. I pretend as well. I've got like pipes flowing under that you just fill up with a pot because there's no actual fluid physics. And there's like a little sewage thing and it runs out into a separate part and then that goes back into the river. I've got it all figured out.
Dave's
love
doing
it.
the most.
That
here.
sounds like you do have it all
I've
figured
got like
out.
thousands of the likes, like the little hearts. Can't even spend them all. I've bought everything.
All right, but sounds like you've had a good one. Andrew,
Yeah,
how about
video
you? What have
games.
you been up to? I know we
Sorry,
played some
20
League
minutes.
together, but other than that,
I had a very uneventful week. Didn't
uneventful.
really do anything
Hmm.
in particular. Got a little writing done. Yeah.
I mean, that's good. Yeah.
Just chilling, just hanging out.
I'm trying to make the decision as to whether the next release that I'm gonna put out from the writing streams I've been doing is going to have the magic items and the spells that we've written in it, or just the spells, and then we do the magic items separately, and we do like 2 releases. But basically, I'm going through the editing on the spells at the moment because the spells are all done, the Warlock spells that we've been writing on the Tuesday streams.
I've been doing a little bit as well. We come up with. I was spent like 20 minutes writing an item, and then I was like, "Oh, I'll check for reference if there's any mechanics that do this," and found I had done almost word for word a thing that exists in the DMG that I'd never bothered to read.
So that happened to me with a couple of spells where we were like, we're gonna have it do this, and then someone's like, you mean like this spell from X book? And I'm like, I don't know all the spells in all the books, so I've just written a spell that already exists.
I made smoke bomb. Smoke bomb just exists. And you just... So
Yeah.
I made a better thing. I made the sensory befuddlement device.
Oh yeah, much better than the smoke bomb, slightly upgraded.
And then I made the advanced device deployment device to help you deploy the sensory befuddlement
The
device.
advanced device deployment device. So it's the
Yep.
ADDD.
Yep.
Okay.
Making some very
Everything in
divisive
this book
decisions
is-
here.
Everything in this book is awful. And I love it so much. They're so stupid things.
Using the word device twice in the name of your thing is definitely
A choice.
a move. Yeah.
It's
It is.
choice. Oh boy.
Yeah, solid. No, I like it. It's what would you? It's like a maverick move. You know what I mean? Like nobody else would think to do so.
Everything has acronyms. Acronyms for everyone.
Yeah. So I want to talk about our game for a moment here before we get rocking and rolling, because my plan, the sort of cutscene cutoff for season 1 of Desperate Gamble, was you going to space, like getting in the ship and getting the hell out or the hell off of Vode, generally. So I don't know when that's gonna happen, but that's sort of like where I'm thinking we stop for the first season, and I go and do some preparing. We find another cast member for season 2, and all that sort of like fun business. And then come back and do some season 2 related stuff after that in the Vode sector. looking
Is
for.
it season 2 or episode 2?
I like to think of it as season 2 because this feels like more like the episodic Star Wars shows than a movie. You know what I mean?
Or an anime?
Yeah.
I think this might be an anime.
Do you think it might be an anime? Is it because there's like a whole bunch of like sentient planet stuff and like weird vague forces of good versus like colonizing forces of evil? Like
Yeah.
what's the it's the disc 2 of the PS1 JRPG of this game.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Goodness.
Bud Prince has it. We're getting out of Midgar and into the world map, you know.
Shit, we are.
Yeah. It's sort
And
of
that's
like
the planet. It's the live stream. Final Fantasy VII Intergrade. This is the demo. Here we go.
I just wanted to talk like a little bit frankly about that so that we know like kind of where we're at and like what's going to happen. The idea is that I would take a couple weeks to finagle things for season 2 and we'd be back with like more, you know. Assuming that, you know, we are wanted to be back for more, and I think we are confirmed wanted to be back
Insert
for more.
Kylo Ren more gif here.
More. So that could be this episode is all I'm, you know, like is kind of my like warning to the people in chat and those of us who are thinking about it. Like if you guys decide it's time to get the fuck out, like today, it could be today, you know.
It might not necessarily be a 3-hour stream.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what I'm warning for is that it could be shorter, you know, depending on like how things go, how successful things are, and what have you. But I also wanted to warn like the cast and everybody watching that because it is a climactic sort of like set of circumstances, things might get dangerous. You know, like things will be contentious. There will be escalation of conflict, you know, and it's really on the players like to see how it jams out in the next little section.
Okay, but I've got to give a warning to the GM that if you kill Omnibrogbo, I will fly up to Edmonton and I can't say anything more. I can't physically threaten violence.
No actionable threats on the stream, please, Dave.
Dave, what you meant to say is you'll fly up to Edmonton and we will have a tearful embrace full of emotions about all of the narrative joy that we've experienced together, right? Like that's what we were going for, yeah. All right. Also, is it really up to Edmonton? Like from the UK?
Yeah. I think so.
It's like a little bit.
You're a lot colder.
It's a little bit up, but like in the grand scheme of things, not that up.
Probably fly like that way.
I mean, and in I know you're joking, but in a serious response to your statement, the system is quite good. The system is quite good at non-lethal stuff. Like the Star Wars in general is not a thing where people die unless there's a dramatic as hell reason for it to happen most of the time, like media-wise. And the system does a really good job of like the crits being knocking you unconscious and stuff, or like taking your hand off, or you know, like that kind of like Star Wars type of yes. That sort of stuff.
I've already lost an eye. You want to try and take a hint from me too?
I mean,
it seems a bit extreme.
Hand slicing, it just sweeps fun under the rug. Yeah, no one dies in Star Wars. Protagonists don't die in Star Wars. People adjacent to protagonists die in Star Wars all the time. Look at those X-Wings blowing up every fucking where. Okay? Protagonists don't.
Someone, an uncle, who cares?
Yeah, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. Yeah, just skeletons, blackened skeletons.
One.
Don't be rude about the moisture farm. It's great. What else are you gonna farm in Tatooine? Sand.
People love the word moist.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay.
Luke Skywalker
can we roll our
years
destiny
being
now?
moist as possible.
Can we roll our destiny now? Yes, to follow on that. We can roll our destiny. However, we're not going to be rolling obligations because we are still dealing with your obligation this week. So keep your obligation as is, as if we had rolled your obligation, Zyle.
Sounds good.
Let me just reset the pool of destiny points. There we go. And you may roll.
That's really helpful, actually, because if I'd rolled my obligation, I would be unconscious for the beginning of the session.
Let's go.
Are you really
let's
that?
Go,
like,
let's go.
is your strain really that bad?
Yeah, I'm 10 or 12.
Holy shit, that is terrible. Wow. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
The force is with us.
The players have rolled 6 light side points for the Destiny pool to start off today, which is, I mean, it's helpful. Obviously.
Oh man. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah. You thought things were gonna go badly for yourself. You thought.
I mean, if you manage to like, run away and get on your ship and fly away, like it's gonna be a short session forever. But
everybody, start the clock.
Speed run. Start the clock.
Session.
All right. Well,
I'm going to use the light side point to clip through the bottom
so
of the ruins and just under the map.
Yeah,
Off we
I'm
go.
gonna activate my cheat codes.
a reminder to those of you with light side points, because you do have light side points, lots of them, is that you can use them for to create narrative circumstances. So like you can spend a light side point to create a situation where it might be advantageous to you, or like give you the ability to roll a certain thing or what have you. Not that I'm not open to just like you saying those things and me saying yes or no depending on how they are, but a light side point can like force the issue. You know what I mean? It's like the kind of thing where it's like there's an open panel that like gives us access to some wires that'll help us take down the force field or whatever. Like you can spend a light side point to make that true. If you want to. It can also be used to upgrade your dice rolls. Obviously, that's the other use of it is to upgrade your dice rolls. Cool. All right. Well, let me set us back on our scene. Just outside the forest ruins, Panakata has just been disintegrated by Keldshaw, who seems to be sort of perfunctorily standing there, tucks her disruptor pistol away as if she's not planning to use it again, and looks over at the pair of speeders that have various Yutiko goons standing around outside them with their blasters pointed at you. There are 3 like unnamed Yutiko employees, like random goons, stormtroopers, quote unquote, of Yutiko. And then there is Zala, who you recognize from your foray into the gym that one time, who is high up in Yutiko, probably like the person who runs the thing. And there is a Chiss male, unknown to any of you, like name-wise, who is standing nearby to her, having a quiet conversation while they seem to like decide what to do with you. Your speeder is like probably a medium distance away from you, so you'd have to take like 2 movement actions to get to it. And their speeders are in the way, basically.
Yeah, they set things up so that it would be difficult to run away. I understand.
So the various Yutiko goons have their weapons trailed on you, and Zala turns away from the Chiss agent and like looks over to the rest of you and says, "Now, I believe you have something that belongs to me, and I'm willing to be generous if you just hand it over and we don't make a big fuss about this."
Which thing are you talking about?
She looks across the 3 of you like, "Don't play stupid with me."
It's an honest question. You're assuming something belongs to you, and we have no idea what it is you're assuming belongs to you.
All right, fine. Every time I go to the cafeteria, I steal napkins. You could have them back.
She steps forward towards you, Omni.
I'm sorry, I'm joking. I
melee range.
but when I'm nervous.
and like stares you down as you sort of like back up and goes like, "You want to try again?"
I think you should give her the thing.
I honestly don't know what it is she thinks it is that belongs to her. I'm not just going to hand her any old thing.
But I think it's gonna. I tried that one. I think it's gonna be worse the more times we do it.
There's nothing wrong with asking her to be explicit.
She turns to you, Zyle, like stepping away from Omni, like crunching boots through the like sort of low growth flora around here, and says, "The amulet, the item you took from the Sunderer, the item that I want. Is that specific enough for you?
It is.
Then hand it over, and I won't kill you here now."
What exactly are your intentions with it?
My intentions are none of your concern.
I think they are.
They won't be if I have to shoot you. 2 seconds from now, I'm not going to have to explain myself. I'm being pretty patient here.
I think Zyle just kind of stares at her for a moment, and like they're like drawn up to their full height. Their hands are crossed over their chest, and they're kind of looking her over, and they're looking at the rest of their group, and just kind of shake their head and like pull the item out of their pocket.
See? Cooperation. Besides, it seems like you have bigger problems than just this. She like looks over back towards the Chiss agent who is like standing by one of the speeders, waiting for their turn. She holds out her hand, expecting you to give it to her. You give it to her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She takes it, like puts it in a belt pouch, and says, "Well, that's convenient. I was hoping this would go this way. I didn't want to cause more of a mess than we already have. Keld, you'll be paid for the one you took out. Might as well. And, actually, I'd like to put you on retainer." And Keld's like, I don't really do that. But there's like a brief moment of like weird quiet between them, and she just shrugs and like walks back towards her goons.
Speaking of retainers, have you considered the planet's preeminent engineer/mechanic? I could be very useful to you if you don't kill me.
I don't think she's going to.
like,
We
on
gave
the-
her what she wanted.
On the exit, I mean, there is definitely the possibility that she still will. Like, there are guns still on you. Like, things have not calmed down.
Hands up, dog.
She while she's walking away, she turns around as you say that, Omni, and says, "You want to work for Utico?"
Well, no, but who really likes their bosses? Am I right?
She like thinks a moment and then goes like, "That's fair. I didn't really like my boss either. Sort of stifling, But I also know what people do to bosses they don't like. And having just taken from you what you've worked so hard to get, I'm not entirely sure that you're a trustworthy hire right here on the spot with 3 blasters pointed at you, though I've never been in a stronger negotiatory position."
Yeah, I'd have to probably lower my rates somewhat. Okay, fine. We'll just this transaction, and we'll all just go back to the city, and everything will be great.
She walks back over to her goons and she like checks something, and then she opens the door of one of the speeders and like checks something like a radio or a comm link or something. She like murmurs into it, like puts it away, turns around and says, "So I'm at a bit of an impasse here. You're gonna have to forgive me, but I'm trying to think of a reason, like a compelling reason, that I should keep the 3 of you alive. You get a free pass," like points at Zyle, because he's gonna take you. Like, thumbing towards the Chiss agent. But the other two, could be kind of a problem. If I have people knowing things, nosing around in my business, trying to get revenge, you know?
Revenge isn't exactly my mandate.
And what is your mandate?
And she kind of like indicates all of her like medical stuff, like shoulders the bag or whatever. I'm just here to ease a little suffering. Plenty of that needs attending to.
Not wrong. Maybe you could be of use. We've some injured personnel that could use professional seeing too, and there aren't that many doctors around. Assuming you're willing to do that, I think I can overlook your participation in this otherwise annoying affair.
Sure. Well, I provide a valuable service to the community, which I can provide to you, as we discussed. And also, I know people in the Republic, in case you need any lines in there. And also,
Do you want to roll like negotiation or something? I feel like you're just like you're swinging wild here. This is so.
I'm going for everything.
Like I
Trying to not be dead.
didn't make Mabel roll because I'm a doctor. I can do doctor stuff. It's kind of valuable around here. But I definitely want to see if Omni can talk their way out of this.
All right. Friends, is it okay if I spend a light side?
Oh, by all means.
All right, so you want to
Got him.
upgrade the roll? Doing it.
Yeah.
It's set on my end. Yeah.
Okay. And
Ooh, that means I get a dark side point.
I spent in between sessions, because we don't normally talk about the upgrades that we make, but I spent last session's XP getting a rank in negotiation for exactly this.
Just in prep for this potential situation. Yeah.
This exact role I knew was
Okay,
coming.
all right.
Only problem.
No successes, unfortunately.
Can I clear a stress?
Yeah, you can with an advantage. Yes, yeah, you can clear a strain. Yeah. So she looks at you while you sort of blather on a little bit for like, you know, what you're gonna provide or whatever. There's like a good 3 minutes of Omni just like talking about like what they could do or what have you. And
It's a nice gun. It could be even nicer.
And at the end of it, she just kind of looks at you for like a solid moment. These like very like steely eyes, like appraising you. And she says, "No, I don't think you're of any use to me." And like looks to the three goons with their like carbines out. Who stepped forward at the like mention of her sort of head shake. Feel free.
I was gonna step in front of
I was gonna
Omni.
say, feel free someone else to like try and. Yeah.
Oh.
Listen, I know they may not look like much and they like to open their mouth and talk a lot. But the fact of the matter is you're not going to find a better mechanic. They have a lot to offer to anybody who's willing to pay them. And they're an incredibly adept forager as well.
Do you have a
They can see.
Do you have a social skill you want to use?
I guess I can use my charm.
Yeah, that's fine.
They may not be able to, they may not be very good at pitching themselves, but their work speaks for them just fine.
Are you using a force point here?
I mean, I guess we should smoke them while we got them, right?
I mean, you have like 5.
We have so many. Sure, let's do it.
All right, I'll set an upgrade for you. There you go.
If you take time to read my resume, I don't interview well.
Yep, some people just don't. It just be like that. All right, here we go. We're gonna see how this goes.
Hey, a success. Very nice.
Who?
So she one of the things that you notice as soon as you step in front of Omni is that the Chiss agent sort of like moves forward as if he's gonna intervene in the shooting of you. You know what I mean? He's got business with you, and he's not gonna let Zala just like murder you outright if you're in the way by accident. But so you roll a success, and
Xylo's counting on that.
he sort of relaxes. And the and Zala looks to you, and says, "Best mechanic you know, is he? Or are they?"
I'd say so.
Okay. All right. Well, plenty of damaged vehicles need a little tender care after the trip through the jungle. It's not exactly hospitable, though I think this will help with that. She like pats the amulet pouch that she has the amulet in. Right. You're good. You're good. And you, well, I'll leave you with him. And she takes a final like look over all of you and says, "Goes without saying, you caused me like a sniff of trouble, like an itch of a problem, and my mercy here will be withdrawn very, very quickly. I don't like dealing with insubordination or just, like work kind of problems. I tend to get a little stressed out when that happens. When I get stressed out, like things get troublesome for everybody, other than me. So just go back to Vote City, do the tasks I've assigned you, and then I don't want to see you again. I don't know. Take your junker of a ship," she says to Omni, and get out of here. Leave. Don't cause me any more problems.
Yep, that sounds like a really good idea. I go, since Zyle is right in front of me, whisper, "Thank you. We'll find a way to come back and try and, that guy looks pretty scary."
You let him bake me.
So she turns back to like this the like series of speeders, and the speeders that she has brought like with her, the 2 speeders that they all got out of, look like they've been modified for they look like the Star Wars equivalent of technicals. You know what I mean? Like they're like civilian vehicles with like weapons attached to them. In like various not so shoddy ways, like proper attachments.
It feels like their general vibe.
Their general vibe. It is their general
just
vibe.
like industrial general things, and then just make them violent.
Just put guns on it. Yeah. The general like Utico feel is they present as if they are a company, but they are in fact a gang. You know what I mean? Like to a certain degree. So yeah, you're right. It's like industrial stuff, like modified to be violent. And so the goons go with her, and they leave behind like a driver and another guy in one of the what do you call it? It's the speeders. My brain. And the Chiss agent like is still there. And
So you're saying it is now 3 against 1.
No, I'm saying it's 3 against 3. And
Still better odds.
And the Chiss agent is a Chiss agent, so 3 against 1 is still really bad for you. I'm not saying you can't run away, you know what I mean? But
I know.
I am saying like if you wanted to fight him directly, it would be, knowing your combat skills, it would be dangerous, and you know that he's dangerous, right? Chiss are not.
There's not going to be any fighting.
Chiss are not generally permitted or given like leeway to venture out into, the sort of like galactic, space, if they aren't proficient. So he steps forward to your group and sort of addresses Zyle. And he says, hang on, I gotta get something here. I'm looking for a thing that I
Is it what accent
noted.
you gave him?
Well, The accent, I don't think I can do the accent. Like it won't sound good. But he says, Sokin Zyle Kona all, I assume.
It's assuming a lot.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't.
That's assuming a lot.
It's not really assuming very much. He, like, flicks open a data pad and like there's a holographic image of your face with like a little, warrant notification underneath it, and like checks towards you. I'm sure we can figure it out one way or another. There aren't a vast number of us wandering around out here.
That's what you call it.
Well, what else would you call what you've done? Following your trail, I'd say wandering is exactly what you've gotten up to. Almost nothing of use.
I'm not going back.
I don't really think that's up to you.
Zal kind of looks over at Mabel and Omni. And there are still speeders between us and our speeder, correct?
Yeah, there's one like of the sort of industrial speeders in between like you and your speeder. Which has like a guy with the agent and then a driver in the driver's seat. So 2 random Utica goons, a speeder, and the agent within short distance, and then within medium distance, your speeder past it, basically.
What do you say, guys? Want to make a run for it?
I think we can maneuver into a better position if we try some negotiation stuff.
All right.
I don't know about that.
I reckon. I believe in the force, imperative force.
Okay.
I need a little help here. I'm not entirely sure what to do.
Well, I will try a thing, and then we'll see how it goes, and maybe this will help set you up. So Mabel just like tilts her head kind of into the conversation between these two and just says, so you, and I point at the like Chiss agent, are here for them. I point at Zyle. And the 2 of us, and I indicate myself and Omni, we're free to go. Yes?
Correct. I have no use for you.
Very good. And so Mabel kind of like shoulders past him to go to the speeder to like put her stuff away.
Okay, yeah.
But she's gonna like drop her things and like cause a bit of a kerfuffle and get help from the Utica goons, or try to.
Okay, so you're trying to like implicate them in like being busy.
Yeah, just be like, oh, well,
you.
Can you help me load my thing now?
Yeah,
Because we're not.
Do you want to roll like a deception or like?
Yes, yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah. Are you using a force point? I'm just gonna keep
absolutely
asking.
Yes.
Okay, absolutely yes. All right.
We're doing it. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it.
Can Omni help me out, please?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just thinking of like an Omni walks up next to you.
Brogbo is the absolute beast of being awkward and in the way.
I was gonna say, yeah, Omni doesn't need to try to,
Oh no, that's the no. Look, you're doing the thing.
While this is happening, because I'm assuming this distraction will take a minute or two, right? Like while you're sort of like implicating the goons and so forth. I think the Chiss agent has a moment to speak to Zyle where like you can't really hear what they're saying.
That sounds great. Yeah. Yeah.
So they step forward and they sort of like close the distance with Zyle so that they are close by, and they say he says there is another option. Rather than me dragging you back to our home planet and facing whatever charges you'll be awaiting you there.
And what are those?
Well, there aren't many of us out here. And if you're out here, then you might learn things that are valuable to the Ascendancy. I could have you report to me. Send back anything of use. Let you wander around, explore, be free in this galaxy to your heart's content. But you work for me.
Exactly what kind of information are you wanting?
Anything that could be of interest to our government. Anything that could be of danger to the galaxy at large. Anything that could be, I don't know, valuable, important. Exactly what kind of information is up to your discretion.
I'm guessing you're familiar with why I left.
I'm familiar with a young Chiss wanting to see more. Nothing further. Is there some extenuating circumstance that I should be made aware of?
I mean, that is more or less the story.
It's
not just...
in the background of this, there's like Mabel and Omni making a scene. Sorry.
Yeah, Mabel having her like leg malfunction and she like trips a little bit and like yard sales her whole med kit over the
roll the deceit so that I can see if the Utica are like helping you out or not, and then we'll get back to the conversation. Sorry, Sal, to interrupt.
No. This is fun. I like watching the ball jump back and forth. Yeah.
Hey, that's a lot of advantage too.
Let me check real quick on what I can do.
You could
with
give
those.
allies improvements to the next rolls or like boosts. You could make enemies checks harder. With like circumstance die. You could, I think three advantage has something in particular, but I don't remember what it was, so I'd have to check the chart.
There are 2 options at 2.
Yeah. So the rule is you can only use one option once, basically. Per thing, if you know what I mean. So like you can't recover 4 stress or like 4 strain,
right.
But you could recover a strain and do a 2-hit like thing and that kind of stuff.
Well, I'll add a boost to my next ally roll, and I will add a black die to the Chiss agent's next roll.
Okay, so you're gonna up your own and negate.
There's enough like noise and clamor that like it's distracting or
yeah, that's fair,
irritating to this agent maybe.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to have like a clandestine conversation with a potential future informant, and
then there's some buffoons in the background having some like vaudevillian kind of slapstick act.
Yeah. I like that. All
right, so
sorry for interrupting in the midst of your line there, Aki.
No, I don't think I was about to say anything that was particularly important.
So you can see they're causing you can see they're causing a distraction, and that it will be distracting for at least the 2 Utico guys who are currently trying to like get that shit off of like their the nearby lawn to their speeder and like pack things back into bags, or like make sure Mabel hasn't like dented the paint or something by falling into the vehicle, like that kind of stuff.
Cool.
But he's still looking at you as if he's expecting you to like agree to this deal. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad deal.
Yeah, I mean my reminder, I guess, like not that I need to tell you how to play your character, but Zyle's like escape from the Ascendancy was based on them being like an autocratic, like self-aggrandizing government that doesn't want anything to do with anybody else. Being a cog in that government may not sit right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not a bad deal. It's just not a deal for Zyle.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a plan. Just stole one.
I appreciate the offer. I imagine it is well intended. But until all Chiss enjoy the type of freedom that I've been able to enjoy since I've come out here, I don't think I have any interest in aiding and abetting a government like the Ascendancy. Keeping its people down.
He sighs in a sort of exasperated, like, I knew this was kind of how it was going to go, sort of a sigh, and he says, well, can't say I didn't try and do this the easy way. and like reaches for a blaster pistol on his hip.
What am I doing? Oh shit. What am I doing? I think Xyle is gonna, the moment he moves towards his blaster, is going to.
I think we need to roll. I think we need to roll an initiative.
Yeah, initiative is what's
because I think his next move is to try and shoot you.
Yeah, I know. Fucking Christ. Okay, here we go.
Now the Utica goons are gonna be off the initiative for like a whole round, basically, due to the deceit rolls. The only person who's going to act is the Chiss agent for the first round.
Right. So I'm rolling my cool here.
Yeah, hang on. Let me clear.
Everybody...
Are we also part of it? Can we be part of it?
Yeah, of course, because you're faking being distracted. You're not actually distracted, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
So this is a I think this is a cool roll initiative because I don't think you're surprised that something's gonna happen. You're kind of all setting up for it.
Oh, no good. Okay, I'm ready to roll.
Okay. Let me just make sure the dice pool is empty in case it messes with it. And you should be able to roll now. If I just use this sheet.
Ooh, what's that? Worst initiative roll.
We in there.
Hang on, I'm just trying
Everybody
to
in chat, please pray for me.
I'm trying to set up a sheet to do the right thing. So the Utica goons, I'll just roll them this. And then our Chiss, yeah, that should do. That's fine. Have that.
Christ.
No.
Looks like we are not going to be able to get there in time.
So,
die.
Force die have been rolling the whole time. Have I got it in a weird force die situation somewhere? Maybe my dice pool has it on. Or maybe it was Mott Seldir's. Yeah, it was Mott Seldir's sheet. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Either way, I guess I'll die.
Descending order. NPC, PC, NPC, PC, NPC, PC. But the two lower NPCs don't act. Which is fine. And so we're gonna have our first NPC act. That is, of course, the Chiss agent. And he is going to fire at short range his blaster pistol on stun setting at Xyle.
No. Here we go.
So
this would be fun.
No.
I'm glad I have soak.
Do this. 2 success, 2 advantage. Oh wait, he had a negative as well. Hang on, let me roll it again.
Okay.
Because he had a black die that had been given that he hadn't actually used there.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a little worse.
Oh no.
That's a little worse. So
that's a lot worse.
The Chiss agent fires this blaster pistol, and there's a like what do you call it? The noise, the like sort of electric zapping noise of the like circular stun ring. That comes out of the blaster pistol, and you take for a blaster pistol. Let me make sure that I am giving you the right references here. Weapon qualities reference. That's not what I want. I want weapon reference. Blaster pistol. 6 plus 2. 8 damage, but it's stun, so it's strain. And you're gonna take a critical effect from the triumph.
All right, hold on just a second. I'm pretty sure this is going to knock me out.
You can still soak however much of it you need to.
All right, cool. So I soak 3, which makes that just 5. Mm-hmm. But I'm now at a 10 out of 11 on strain.
Okay, so, and there's a 10 on the crit chart, which is slowed down. Target can only act during the last allied initiative slot on the next turn. So you've been stunned, you're dazed, you can't act until the last slot on the initiative.
Cool. All
right, cool. First PC, either Mabel or Omni, because Xyle must act last.
Yeah, what do you think, Dave?
I reckon it's rev up the speeder and try and go for a drive-by grab and just book it.
Oh yeah, you want to try.
They have time.
You want to try and like drive the speeder through and like grab Xyle on the way.
Yeah, do a sick move, a sick drift around the blockade.
Now here's the question: so you're basically within short distance of the enemy speeder, and your speeder is like a little bit further away, past it. I said it was at a medium distance where you were standing before.
Yeah, we moved over to mess
but you moved to an almost engaged position with the enemy speeder, right? Like you're like practically next to it. So your speeder is only a short distance away from you, but it's a medium distance away from Xyle. Xyle is like further afield. So you can move a short distance to the speeder in one maneuver, if you need to.
Yeah, so I'd move to it, and then I'd try and
then you'd interact with an object, yeah, like which would be the speeder. So like using your action to start up the speeder, turn it on, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's my play.
Okay, yeah, sweet.
And it's not even like necessarily that conspicuous because we've been moving to do this the whole time. So like going over there, just like a very brisk movement. Come on, while they're distracted.
Yeah.
Jump on in the front seat.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like that. So, the Yutiko goons don't act, so this NPC situation is not anything. And then it's Mabel.
So the goons are going to be able to act at some point.
They will be able to act next round. Yes. Because like you've deceived them into like being distracted, but as soon as it turns into like stuff is happening, this is mostly to give you like a free stuff is happening turn before they do.
Yeah, can I just like sedate one?
You just want to like inject them with something?
Yeah, just like because I've like dropped my med kit on the ground and stuff. Like while one of them is like bending over to help me with it, I just fucking.
I think you can try. We'll make it some kind of like melee attack or something like that, and we'll make it a strain hit rather than a knockout.
Yeah, exactly,
hit
exactly.
Rather than a thing, yeah.
If that seems fair to
yes,
you.
I got to use. Aki mentioned it in chat just now, but I got to mention Xyle's full name using the like Chiss agent, and then that's the full Xyle name in chat there.
I think I might stick with Xyle if that's okay.
I mean, Xyle would probably prefer that as well. The whole thing is a bit of a mouthful.
So, what are you injecting? Give me like some narrative. Like, what are you injecting them with? You know.
So she has like what would it look like? I think
you probably have like some sedation stuff, right? Like
just used it on me.
Yeah, because this is exactly. This has come up a lot previously, and so it's just like a kind of general painkiller and sedative kind of combo medication.
Just got some kind of like chemical cocktail. Yeah.
And it's for like trauma care, right? Like for emergency medicine, and so it's this thing that just like instantly fucking loads you up with a ton of this.
It's sort of like super morphine, you know?
Yeah, basically
like a painkiller. Yeah.
And yeah, it's designed to act really quickly in intense situations.
Okay, I like this.
So
we'll have to codify this, and maybe it's something we can do on the GM stream to give you like an actual item. And we'll have to keep track of it if we're going to use it more than once. This is sort of like a narrative thing that I'm just like, yeah, do it. You know what I mean?
It kind of feels like almost the sort of thing you're supposed to do with a force point, right? By the description.
Yeah, like
unless you want to just say
if you want to spend a force point to have the thing to like sedative this guy.
Yeah.
Then
I think that feels fair.
I think
cool.
No, I totally agree with you. I was kind of jamming,
well.
but I agree that a light point would be more than fair.
And so Mabel has done this kind of sleight of hand thing in the course of like dropping her med kit of like having this thing in her hand. Yeah. As part of that. And then this guy like bends over to help her with it or whatever, and she just like grabs him by the shoulder and just like jams it into his neck and like doses him up.
No, I like that. Give me a second to clear the GM dice pool here. You have a boost die for your next action because of your previous advantage. So I have that set up. Do you want to upgrade the attack roll using another light side point?
No, that should be okay. I'm making a brawl roll.
Yeah,
here,
brawl
right?
is fine. Yeah, I mean it probably should be melee. But I'll give it to you on Brawl because
I feel like it's more to do with the like grappling him necessarily than
headlocking the guy is the
So yeah, I'll roll that.
Oh, Triumph too! Oh, spicy. All right, well, the Triumph result is just going to be that he goes down instantly, right? Like, I could talk about damage and amount of strain and what have you if I wanted to.
But he's just out.
We will just say that because you rolled a Triumph, it does enough to take him out, like, right away. So this human male Utico goon who's wearing, like, sort of the Utico jumpsuit, like, overalls sort of thing, and the... like a jacket with a blaster carbine sort of like bandoliered over his shoulder. You grab him by the neck and or like by the head sort of and just jab this thing into his neck, and he just drops like a sack of potatoes just straight onto the ground, flop, like entirely unconscious. So that's your action. You still have a maneuver if you want to like move or do any kind of like that kind of stuff.
I think with my maneuver, if it's okay, I'm just gonna like scoop up all of my stuff that had been part of this whole like distraction. Like she was fumbling with it, and then very quickly and effectively, she just like scoops it up. Like it was clear that she never would have needed help with this in the first place, right?
So let me.
They're all actually just lined up, in slightly different horizontal values.
Let me check my combat reference. So maneuver has manage gear as part of it, like drawing or holstering weapons or items or loading things. It has moving. It has preparation. Some actions require a preparation maneuver or multiple. So I think that works for a maneuver to like.
Yeah, she just like has all of her stuff again.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. So you're still in the same place. You're like within short distance of the other Utico goon, short distance of the other Utico goon is like the driver for the speeder that was there, and I mean he got out to like help you or whatever, but he's not as armed as the other guy. He doesn't have like the blaster carbine or the obvious like padded armor or what have you. Like he's clearly just like usually the wheelman, and he's a little more lightly garbed. Okay, so that would be his turn, but it's not his turn because it can't be. And now it's Zyle's turn. Zyle.
Cool. So Zyle's done. I think their move is to create as much distance between themselves and this agent as possible. So I think that they probably like get down on all fours. They're not going to try and run because like they're I think it's safe to say that because they're stunned, they're not. I don't know if running is a thing they could do with any.
I mean,
any
they're
amount of
not.
competency.
They're not fully like the result of that critical is just that you act last. So the stunning is just that you haven't been able to like get it together
it's not
till
like
now.
The full knockout.
And if you're
Sure.
not,
If
you're not over your strain threshold, you're still conscious. You're still good.
Yet.
You're ready to go.
Cool. Then I think my move is to create as much distance between myself and the agent as possible, and try and get closer to the.
Okay.
To the speeder.
So are you just gonna leg it? Is it just like
I'm gonna try like instead of running straight towards the speeder? Do I notice that like Omni has tried to get the speeder started and is like
but Omni is a medium distance away from you in the speeder. You can see them like you can hear the sound of your speeder like keying on, so to speak, and like the whine of the repulsors.
Right. So if we're here and the speeder is over here and is coming this way, I think instead of running straight, the
speeder is not currently moving. The speeder has only been turned on.
I'm gonna run towards the speeder, but I'm also running out so that like instead of coming in a straight line towards us, Omni can kind of.
Can I suggest something like narratively? Like if you're running and you're using the enemy speeder, the like Utico speeder as like line of sight cover between you and the agent sort of thing, like you get it in between you so that he'll have to move or he'll have to like
I'll do that. If I could take cover, I will. I wasn't aware that was an option. I will use that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking like what you're trying to do is create distance and you're trying to create a situation where you're at an advantage. So yeah, you take off and you can see he like curses as you run like in Chiss, like there's like this very it's a very like flowing language and there
pretty language. Our tongue is quite nice.
There is a like a series of swear words as as he
didn't expect the mental resilience of Zyle.
No, I mean, you know,
Didn't
these
expect it.
people go down after you hit them with a like short range blaster pistol. You know, most of the time.
The planet is on my side, even if I don't have the amulet anymore.
Yeah.
Finger in the air to the boss, to the man, and running.
Space middle finger.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So, it is the agent's turn. I think his immediate action is to try and chase you. He
Sure.
moves a short distance to the Utico speeder, and then fires at a short distance at you. You've got some cover, and just like generally, there's some negatives that they're going to apply to him.
And he has a disadvantage as well, an added disadvantage from Mabel.
He already used that particular.
Never
roll.
mind.
Yeah.
Damn it.
that was on the roll to stun you.
Yeah,
I think
unfortunately.
I used up.
Okay. Oh, Mabel. Also, you should take a strain from the threat that was on your roll, because you rolled three successes, a threat, and so you take one strain out of that. I am gonna give him disadvantage because I'm gonna give him 2 disadvantage because of the fog and because of the speeder being in his way to like shoot at you. Doesn't get an advantage. This is all fine. I am gonna use a dark side point, however, to upgrade his roll. So you're back to 4 light side, 2 dark side. Here we go.
Here we go.
Oh no!
Nails it. So he fires. Zap. Manages to hit you, even though you're like out of line of sight. You're sort of like he's good. He's professional. He's rolling.
I know.
He's rolling 2 greens, 2 yellows on ranged light. You know what I mean? Like he's pretty good. And so he manages to tag you, which would be 6 damage minus your soak. Remember, this is going to strain because he's firing on stun.
Well, once I go over my threshold, I'm knocked out, aren't I?
I believe so, but I would have to like.
I'm now at 13 strain over 11. So yeah, I'm down.
The other thing is that you take another critical effect. So let me just roll that.
Fine. It's fine.
You're staggered, but you're already down, so it doesn't really matter.
I'm on the ground.
You would be stunned until the end of your next turn. So you are zap. Put onto the dirt. Your face flat in the grass. You can hear vaguely as you fall unconscious the echoes of the voices of the planet. You know, this indistinct like whispering, this indistinct echoing of the like Vodian consciousness, trying to like bolster you or help you in whatever way they can, but you know, they are powerless to keep you conscious, unfortunately. Okay, so PC, Omni, or Mabel?
Well, I'll go first.
Okay,
Yeah, I think it might
So,
be.
Omni is messing around with
getting the speeder started.
the speeder started.
You have
I see.
You have the Chiss agent very near you. You also have the driver of the other speeder like fumbling for whatever sidearm in his
he's like right in front of me.
In his like glove compartment, and he's basically in engaged space with you. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I need to deal with him first and foremost.
Okay.
And so if he's fumbling in a glove compartment, Mabel just like quickly takes these like big long robot strides over to him, and she's just gonna slam his face into the vehicle, like, you know, get behind him, just and try to knock him out.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Wrestle with him, keep him from getting his blaster. So yeah, I'll move to where he is, and then I'll just roll my brass knuckles.
Are you
weapon at this point?
Are you using any force points? You upgrading anything? You want to? I just used the dark side, so you're back to 4 light side.
Oh, okay. Well then, yes. This is obviously very important.
I'm just suggesting it because we have so much in the air, you know what I mean?
Let's keep it passing.
Might as well keep it rolling.
Freely back and forth.
Okay.
Elf just wants to have dark side points back. Is what really is.
Yeah, I mean, I need them. 2 successes and a threat. So on that threat, you take a strain. You like pull something.
Wait a minute. Where's my light side point?
No, your light side point is an upgrade to your roll. So you normally
Oh,
would
I
be-
see.
Yeah, turns a thin yellow.
Normally you were rolling 2 greens and a yellow, but you're rolling 2 yellows and a green instead. So it like makes your roll better. I have it on the upgrade.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great.
So 2 successes. So you regularly do 3 damage. So you do 5 damage as you like rock this guy into the.
Yeah, just like big robot hand like clamps on the back of his skull, lifts a little bit, and just. Poof.
5 damage on the driver. I think that's enough to take him out because he doesn't have any soak. So he just crumples basically as you like knock his head against the side of the car door.
Yeah, and then she just like rolls him off the vehicle, like still just by his head, just like spins him off of it.
Yeah, dump him onto the ground. Okay, cool. That
You still have the maneuver, right? Because that was that.
Yeah, Mabel does still have a maneuver. Yeah. You could
I get in their speeder?
You could, or you could get next to Zyle, like the amount of distance that it would.
Yeah, I'll run over to Zyle since Zyle's unconscious, and that's probably bad.
Not great, fam.
Yeah,
Not great.
You sort of make your way around the speeder and you get over to Zyle.
Yeah, she like kind of hustles over to them, keeping low, using because Zyle made it as far as like the speeder that I'm at, right? Like they were using it for cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I work my way around, kind of ducking, staying low, so that I'm in the trenches with them now.
Mm-hmm. So that makes it Ami's turn.
All right. So we've got enemy-wise, the Unico guys have been taken out.
Yeah, they're down. One has been sedated and one has been knocked the hell out against the side
So
of their
it's
vehicle.
just the Chiss agent.
Just the Chiss agent, yeah.
All right. I think I'm gonna ram him with the speeder.
You're just gonna drive the speeder into him?
Yeah, like he's there, he's engaged. So if I bonk him out the way, then we get time to load Zyle in.
No,
and drive off.
I like the idea. What I will tell you is that I have no idea what the rules are for that. Like
What?
0%. So we gotta check.
I think it is actual maneuver that
Chat
counts.
if you happen to know what
Vehicle
happens
combat maneuvers.
when you ram a humanoid with a vehicle. So give me advantage.
Is it under additional vehicle actions, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm looking at my various references. That's not it.
A on target is such a fun game.
Yeah, I didn't actually expect you to do this, so I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Silhouette size times 10. Yeah, so what is the silhouette of the vehicle, Omni? Do you know the stats on the land speeder?
On the land speeder, I do. It is silhouette 2.
It's silhouette 2, so if you hit him, it'll do 20 damage because it's silhouette damage times 10. Is basically
amazing.
It's basically how it works. But you have to hit him, and you're gonna have to roll like a piloting land vehicle check, I would say.
That works because I do have 2 yellows in piloting planetary.
Well, there you go. Okay, all right. So are you using a force point? You wanna?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Could use the force on kill someone with a speeder.
Okay.
Yeah, the force is with you for doing this murder
right.
of some random dude you just
Okay,
met.
before we do this, can I just quickly go grab a book I need for reference? I'm just one.
Should we take the break? Should we take the break?
Oh, actually, that's a great idea. Yeah, let's
Just a little
let's take
early.
our break and then see how this goes. All right, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Everybody, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. And we're back. We're back once again to see how this all resolves. So there's something I was thinking of over the break. I found out what my Chiss is gonna have to take and like how that's all gonna go. But I know there are some of you out there in chat who are incredibly more versed in the rules than this than I am. If this character has an adversary rating, does it affect a piloting planetary check to ram into him? Does an adversary rating affect that? Because it says combat checks, and I feel like this is a combat check, but also like that it's kind of not, and it's a bit of an edge case. So like, What I need to get a secondary opinion. Everything is affected by adversary rating. Thank you, Ray Ferdane. That helps me.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Go chat. No, I'm kidding.
So wonderful. Everything is affected by adversary rating. So he has an adversary rating, which means that it's going to be harder. So Omni.
I think I would have rolled that way as well.
Yeah, I mean me too. But I wanted to ask someone who knew more. So Omni, you're rolling a piloting planetary to ram this Chiss agent.
Yes.
Other thing I'm going to ask is, are you using a force point? You are, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we got a force point in there. Are there any other circumstantial benefits you can think of or whatever? Like, I'm trying to, help you out here.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to be surprised.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. I'll give you a boost die for that. I'll give you a boost die for surprise because I was
the whole time I've been like meek, pathetic.
Yeah, you're ramming
bumbling.
a speeder into someone is some uncharacteristic violence for sure. All right, sounds good. Hit it up when you're good to go. This will be a difficult roll.
I'm gonna use the force. All right, here it goes.
Oh, success! Okay, you get a strain because you got a threat. But that makes sense. Being stressed behind the wheel. So
don't crash my baby.
So you ram the speeder into this Chiss agent, and he turns as he hears the speeder coming towards him, and catches the front bumper straight in the middle of his chest, and sort of crumples and falls under the repulsors as you go over him. It's clear you've done a whole lot of damage. There's a spray of blood across the hood as you hit him, and you're pretty sure he's dead.
It's like the camera would and then it stops for a few seconds, and it goes up to Omni's face, and it's just. Right, everyone, get in, quick.
Yeah, Mabel, are you gonna scoop up Zyle and?
Yeah. Do you want me to can I do a medicine check now to snap them out of their
with strain with strain I'm not sure, but I think some strain clears when you rest, so I don't see any reason why you couldn't do it, right?
Yeah, I'll use a what's it? I'll use stuff from my med pack as well as a little stim pack.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
Same way you would with someone who is
downed
from injury or whatever.
If you hit it with a stim pack, it should work. Yeah.
Yeah. So, kablamo.
Okay. Well, the medicine check's a failure, but if you're using a stim pack, it's just 5, for free, kind of thing.
Oh wait, I thought I had to. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, then if it's just 5 for free,
anybody can use a stim pack, right? Any nerd in the galaxy can stim pack a guy.
I don't think there are 2 red die against.
Oh no, there shouldn't be 2. There shouldn't.
Okay, well, can I
try it again? Try it again.
Yeah, roll without the massive.
Are the reds the opposite of the yellows?
Go. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
That's the first time I think we've seen them.
No, I've used them once before.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry, I've got it set up properly now. There you go. That's much better.
That's much better.
So 3 successes plus your medicine check. It's per success. It's 1 HP, right? What's the rule on the medicine checks, Mabel?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. And then I have some adjustments to it because I am a doctor.
Because you get extra, right? Because of surgeon.
Yeah, they heal additional wounds per rank of surgeon.
Okay, they don't have any wounds necessarily.
But there's no wounds going on here.
But they are conscious. They lose strain equal to how much you heal. So which is 4.
Cool.
Yeah, so Mabel pulls out some different meds and administers them to you. It's adrenaline and stimulants and stuff, so you're a little bit amped.
Yeah, give you that shot to the heart.
Not too amped. Oh my god. Everything hurts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I imagine stun blasters being very similar to like that taser feeling where your muscles are all tense and like just like a really bad vibe.
Did we get away from him?
And Mabel like looks over. It's like there's a 75% likelihood that he's dead instantly. Very likely, yes. And
Yeah,
she like
you
scoops style
look,
up.
and the speeder has like blood all over the front of it. And Omni's just sat there, just like,
Yeah, in
What did
shock.
you do to my speeder?
I believe that's how you react. Love it. Are we still in initiative?
No, you're good to operate outside of initiative.
Let's get the hell out of here and as far away from that guy as we can. Are you sure he's dead?
Mabel's gonna walk over to this guy.
Uh-huh.
Is he dead? I check.
You want to like roll a medicine check to check?
Yeah. I want to
Okay,
check this guy
all
out.
right, yeah, go ahead.
Because if everything's kind of chilled out, and like there's no one shooting anymore or whatever, then yeah, I'll let Omni have their little like panic attack while I go do this.
A triumph. Okay. You can hear him like labored breathing. Like they're like he's got broken ribs or like that there's significant damage, but he's not dead now. What I will say is that his rebreather is like fucked up.
Yeah.
So he's breathing the like
He's
Vode,
breathing
the
regular
Vode
Vodian
atmosphere.
air.
Yeah.
That's a rather poetic thing for him, isn't it? That he gets stuck here,
Yeah,
given his job and his, nature. That's kind of fun. Do I want to save his life or
He's
not?
he's like clearly not conscious, if you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
like he's not gonna do anything to you. There's just like no way that could happen.
Like he's
but-
gonna bleed out here if I don't
mean,
intervene, right?
possibly, yeah. It is possible.
Never go home.
Like assessing the medical situation, like callously, Mabel.
Mhm.
You would say like that people knew where he was and that Utico employees were with him, and so probably someone will come and check. Will he live until that happens? Like that's a good question. Because you don't know exactly how long like a response would
Yep.
like require, but that if you wanted to stabilize him, you probably could.
Yeah, gosh, I gotta decide.
You could also
I wanna
just
do with this guy.
step on his head and end the problem right here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and the really cool thing is, neither of us are going to know what you do either
No,
way.
yeah.
Well, yeah, because the one option I was considering was that I just like silently off him and then come back and say, "Yeah, he was already
Well,
dead."
the sedated goon will wake up at some point, right? Like he's not dead.
Yeah, I know roughly when, probably.
Yeah.
But
Dial is in the speed of crying about how there's blood all over it.
yeah, I don't think Mabel just wants to like callously murder or let die a person.
That's fair.
So yeah, I'm going to stabilize this guy.
Okay. Medicine check me again.
All right, another medicine check. Here we go. Well, I'm going to use my once per session reroll.
Okay, once
that
per
I now
session.
have.
Once per session reroll. Boom.
There we go.
success.
3
Yeah.
successes.
You're good. You stabilize him.
Yeah, and if I'm healing his wounds, then this is where surgeon does kick in. I get a total of
yeah, I'm
5 or
assuming you want to
something.
keep him unconscious though. Like the plan here is not to like raise him to consciousness.
Oh yeah, well, and it's not like I'm gonna sprinkle him with fairy dust and he's suddenly gonna be
No,
at
no.
100%, right? It's like, cool, he's gonna live, but he's like very traumatized and has a bunch of broken bones. and,
Yeah.
And he's
you know.
never leaving
When-
this planet.
Yeah, you're just gonna
When he
leave-
comes
just gonna leave
back,
him here.
like in a few seasons, he's going to be like half cyborg, right? Like that's the deal.
So you're just gonna leave him here in the grass, so to speak.
Yeah, she like patches him up, puts some like dressings on some of his
Are you-
wounds, keeps
are-
him from bleeding out.
Are you checking his pockets or anything? Like you like looking?
Yeah.
At...
Yeah, I probably have
Good.
to. I have to cut away a bunch of his clothing and stuff to tend to him. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so he has a blaster rifle like slung over like a sling on his back, but he's been using a pistol. That's in his hand, regular blaster pistol. He also has a sword. It looks like of some kind, like a bladed weapon, like a machete style looking thing. That's on his hip.
Please,
that's
that
on his
face.
hip. And
I like swords.
And he is wearing like pretty good armor. Like relatively durable, but I mean a lot of that's been wrecked by the fact it was rammed.
Yeah,
with a
I think I
car.
have to like ruin his armor to tend to him. Like I have to cut him out of it and stuff, and I
Yeah.
have a bunch of tools for doing that. So Mabel, yeah, like
He also has an extra stim pack on him that you can take out of his like pack.
yep, I will definitely take that. She also just like takes any money he has, takes all of his weapons and equipment,
like his data pad and his like credit ships and stuff. Yeah.
and so yeah, I leave him here with like one of those space blankets essentially on him after having like done a bit of quick surgery to keep him from arterially bleeding out. Probably Mabel has some like Bacta compress thing that has like a little bit of Bacta in it, and you just like can give someone a little bit of the like tank treatment where they have like a thing around their chest or whatever.
Oh yeah, like a bag. So to
yeah,
speak.
like a little kind of pad or something that you can kind of tape to them. So this guy, is like he's patched up, kind of mostly naked, has a blanket around him, laying in the woods. And Mabel leaves him like that, is holding all of his stuff, and she just like dumps it in the back seat and gets in.
Yeah, all right. Sounds good. So did you take his equipment, like his rifle and his pistol?
Yeah, his rifle, his pistol, his sword, any credits he had.
Right. So the credit chips, there's like 500 Imperial credits on like one of them. It's clear the guy doesn't do a lot of purchasing.
Yeah.
And the datapad has like various like wanted posters on it. But they're all chiss. Like it's like an ascendancy file. That is in like a weird form of Arabesh. Like the writing is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unintelligible, but it is like it's like dialectic.
Yeah. So Mabel has just like robbed this dude. I don't know if Omni is recovering from their stupor.
Are you doing anything with the other speeder? Because there is another speeder like nearby.
Yeah, maybe Mabel will ask over her shoulder, like, Omni, can you do something about that speeder? And then she like, this is like before she starts, operating on this dude to keep him alive. And it's totally up to you, Dave, whether or not Omni is just like in shock at having.
Yeah, I'm at I think 11 out of 12 strong. So I'm gonna RP that it is. Omni thinks that they've killed somebody. And it is as out of character as possible. I've always tried to play it towards like doesn't ever want to hurt people, doesn't want to do anything like that. So yeah, I'm going to play totally in shock if that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. How you play characters up to you. What's up, Zyle?
I was going to ask if my rapid recovery can be used in the case of what Maple just did, or if that's only if I'm healing my own strain.
Well, I mean, strain is one of those things that like you clear when like you have rest. I think my rules comprehension for wounds and strain is like all over the place, but yeah, I know. I think you can use your rapid recovery to like gain a little more back for sure.
I have one additional strain that has
been
healed.
Yay, more healing. Okay, so our Omni Brogbo is in shock. Zyle, are you trying to wrest control of the speeder from Omni? Because Omni's like in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I think Zyle, after maybe collecting himself a little bit, sort of maybe notices what it is that Mabel's doing, and kind of sort of shrugs to himself about it. I think in her position, they probably do the same. And then they see the condition that Omni is in. All right. How about you budge over?
Just kind of like slides off, doesn't say anything.
Just slides out of the way.
Goes into the back seat and just kind of buckles himself and just kind of sits there.
That other speeder looks pretty good. Lots of really fun gizmos and doodads on it.
Can you make a persuade check?
I
Is
mean,
that
sure.
allowed? PC on PC checks?
Yeah,
in
no,
this?
if you want to, you can. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll keep the difficulty the
coolest
same
one.
as it always is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be
Just
a
a
charm
charm.
roll in my
Oh,
case?
charm. Yeah.
So, Rafadane has informed me of the strain recovery situation. By the way, it is a discipline roll in a calm couple of minutes right after an encounter for strain recovery, or alternately a cool roll, and the rolls have no difficulty, and the number of successes equals the number of strain recovered.
Cool. I'm happy to roll either of those things as soon as I've rolled this.
Yeah, do this first. Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
Let's see how it goes.
A success.
A success. I did it. Seems like a really good way to keep your mind off things.
Oh, that's you. You're alive. Good. What are you saying about something good?
The speed over there. It looks like Mabel's doing a bit of work, so we're probably going to be here for a bit. Maybe you want to take a look and see what we can scavenge off of their speeder.
Yeah, I look over. Is there anything evident except a big gun?
I mean, there's like an E-web like mounted to it, like the sort of like big cannon looking laser gun. But it looks like a standard sort of land speeder mostly. It's maybe like a little more heavily armored, but it would be difficult to like strip armor off of it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I mean, you're going to know better than I do if there's anything of value.
I mean, the current driver is unconscious. The two drivers of this thing are unconscious. Like, you could take the keys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you really want a big gun just to put on this speeder.
I don't really care about the gun, but grabbing the keys might be a bad might not be a bad idea.
Oh, right, so they can't chase us. Yeah.
Right. Plus a little bit of fresh air. I mean, not actual fresh air. You don't want to breathe this stuff.
No, of course. No, of course not. Breathing. Yeah, breathing is good. Right. Like, hop out and head over. Having been told what to do is, still something you can kind of do.
Yeah. So you hop out and you move over to the like speeder and you pat the guy down or whatever and grab the keys or like from the ignition.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like
check
to
if he's got any
roll
credits
my-
as well, because I mean, you might as well.
Yeah, if people want to recover strain, you can do so. Just roll either a discipline or a cool roll, and the number of successes is the number of strain you heal. So 1 + 1 for you, Zyle, because you get rapid recovery.
Because I get an extra 1 with you.
2 for Omni Brogbo.
Omnis.
I mean, I'll roll it, but I'm
Okay.
doing great.
Another 2 for Mabel.
All right, I'm at 1 strain. Mabel is calm and collected as ever.
Absolutely.
So
Love
yeah,
to see
you're
it.
out here in the jungle. There's no like enemies who are gonna give you a problem like right away. What's the play, friends?
Well, I mean, going straight back to Vogue City is going to be a bit difficult.
I mean,
I'm saying this in character to them.
okay.
But I mean, we obviously have to go back and probably try and get off this planet. Should we go to the Fog Wardens and tell them what happened to Panakata? Or should we not?
Depends on if you think they will blame you.
I mean, I don't think they're going to blame us so much as I think not being the ones to tell them their leader is gone makes it look as though we might have been involved somehow. And I don't want that. I'd like for the Fog Wardens to be able to continue to see us as their allies. And if we tell them what happened to the amulet, then maybe they can keep an eye on it while we're gone.
Well, it's not like they're going to follow you off planet either way.
No, I don't imagine they will. But I'm assuming an awful lot of the rest of you. I know that we never really settled on whether or not we'd actually leave this place. And the two of you could stay here and continue in relative peace, but I don't think I have that option anymore.
Yes, this one's going to live. So I doubt he'll stop looking for you.
Well, at least you can't leave.
You're alive?
Looks like.
Yes, he's alive.
Yeah, let's put as much distance between us and him as possible. If you're going, I'm going, and I've got a ship.
Right. I mean, it's not like we don't have a mission. They can't really use that amulet to do what it needs to do until they have all the rest, and they're not getting the rest. They don't even know about the rest. And they're probably too ignorant to even see what that amulet does.
Well, if they thought to follow us, they might also... what's our friend's name? Harlow?
Oh,
Rhino?
Haverford?
Haverford. Yeah, so Mabel says if they had the sense to follow us, they might also know about Haverford or be keeping an eye on his research. Can't be that secret.
Well, something that occurs to you, Mabel, is that when this place was under Imperial control, there are all kinds of documents about all kinds of crazy shit being possible, if you know what I mean. Like, they were secret and you weren't really allowed to look at them, but it's clear like they were researching more than just like the fog of war here.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like your boss and his predilection for weird, like pseudoscience, quote unquote.
Yeah. And so she'll say as much as well, like, and there's no telling what they've taken from old Imperial archives or other things. I mean, if we were able to find something with our limited numbers and resources, I can only shudder to think at what Utico might dig up in the meantime.
And I think that means we're currently running down the clock. We should probably get hoofing.
Do you reckon the Fog Wardens would like another speeder as a present?
I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to have a Yuko asset that they can use to get in and out of places more easily.
All right.
That being said, they're probably going to report this thing stolen right away.
You take the one that I nearly murdered someone in, and I'll drive the other one beside you.
All right. To the Foghorns then, and then to your ship.
All right. So, you make your way with the speeders. You speed on out of that clearing, leaving the sort of like stabilized but still, living, breathing Chiss on the ground with the two Utico goons who obviously are going to recover at some point because they're both knocked unconscious various ways. So definitely still alive, basically. And you jet off in the direction of where the camp for the Fog Wardens is. Arriving there, like, you get the regular greeting of, like one or two Fog Wardens that you've seen in passing sort of at the border, like one in sort of this black armor, another with like sort of an orange like fluorescent motif going on. They lead you back to the camp. They don't say anything like in particular at like Panakata's absence, unless you speak to them about it particularly.
Just really quickly, before I would have driven here,
Yeah.
they probably have a tracker on their speeders, so I would like to have disabled it.
Yeah, do you want to use like mechanics or something to find it and rip it out?
Yeah.
Chuck that shit.
If I can't, then I wouldn't.
Then you won't
take.
Then you won't take it. Yeah, that's fine. We can do that retroactively. That's fine.
Chuck that shit into the jungle.
We love to roll mechanics. This is our comfort roll after everything else.
Yeah,
that seems fine.
There's absolutely no problem trying to like find the chip, and you take it out of the dash or what have you, and like
I might have done this before as an odd job for someone.
removing trackers is not something you're unfamiliar with, certainly. Okay, so you have done that.
But Prince, like, slap the tracker on like a passing blimp shark, lead them in the wrong direction. That's fantastic. Thank you. Yeah,
all right,
absolutely.
yeah, done. All right. So you make your way to the camp, and you're led in to the like clearing that you've become like sort of familiar with, though you're not sure it's even the same clearing. It just looks like sort of familiar. And there's a bunch of like the Fog Warden folks around there. People have been like patching themselves up after the incursion against the Utico forces that were headed to the Sunderer. There's a lot of like resupplying going on. It's clear the Fog Warden's got some of their own stuff like back from the Sunderer. Like they've got supplies, like taking stuff from Utico patrols that are coming back the other way, stuff like that. And so you get a look that's like a little expectant from a couple of people like nearby. And this like really big fella who looks like he's probably 7 feet tall. And he's not wearing stormtrooper armor. He's wearing like fungal wood armor. It's like the typical stormtrooper armor like wouldn't fit. Like he's just like too big. And he leans in, and you can hear his voice through the fungal wood helmet that he's wearing. And he's just like, "Where's the captain?"
We didn't make it, I'm afraid. We were ambushed on our way out of the temple, and the person that was coming after her for the bounty, let's just say there was nothing left for us to bring back.
She didn't make it, huh? That's not like her.
We got caught by surprise. We weren't expecting to be having company.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she went down, trying to protect you or help the planet. She's always talking about the planet some way or another. And you can see this guy's eyes, like, deep in this, like, weird helmet, that he's wearing, this sort of, like, blocky fungal wood thing that he's wearing. There's, like, he's, like, trying to be conciliatory, almost, like, a little, like, gentle, even though he's, like, this hulking figure of a guy. And he says, "Do you know, who it was, that took the cap down? I'm gonna be wanting to get some payback."
The bounty hunter's name is Kat. Even I don't remember her name. I don't suppose either of you two caught it or remember it. Fatal.
I don't remember. Out of character.
It's Keld, out of character.
Keld. There we go. I was very close. Keld, bounty hunter.
That one. Yeah. Well, we lose people all the time. It's sad business, but what are you gonna do, eh? Guess that'll leave. I guess that leaves me or the lieutenant in charge around here.
There was something else. The artifact that we had, the reason why we went to the temple in the first place. Lady Utico has it now. She took it from me.
Well, shit. That's what we were looking for. Right. Well, we'll have to figure out a way to get that back in the right hands.
her, them having that thing, it's not good for any of us.
Just keep an eye on it. We need to leave. We're going to look for the others. But one day we'll be back and we'll help you take it.
He looks confused about the idea of there being others.
There's a bit more to this story than any of us anticipated. But we have an opportunity not only to get it back, but to restore this planet to its former glory.
Hey, I mean, if it's what the captain wanted, then it's what we're doing.
Glad to hear we're on the same page.
I did introduce myself. It's rude of me, really. Of bit of a long day. I'm Gubbs, Sergeant Gubbs.
I'm Dial.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you. Considering the circumstances. So you said you're getting out of here.
Yeah, actually, we probably shouldn't linger here too long. The longer we're out here, the less likely it is we'll be able to get on our ship and go. But we wanted to make sure that you knew what was happening, so that you didn't hear it from somebody else.
I mean, we appreciate that. I'll tell when I figure out where the lieutenant is. I will tell her about the situation. She goes off for kind of days at a time. She hiding out somewhere, looking over something.
It's okay. It's fine. Enjoy the speeder. You'll deal with it how you're going to.
Yeah, nice.
We'll be back.
Yeah, he sort of nods and gives you a vague
Yeah, he's doing the thing where he just keeps talking, so he doesn't have to think about anything.
Yeah,
so it's just like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's clear they're not a deep thinker to begin with, They have a weapon with them that looks like a much heavier version of the poleaxe that you've seen a bunch of the Fog Wardens using that has the little flamethrower at the end.
It's the Dark Souls version.
Yeah,
of the normal poleaxe.
Scaled up, right? Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to look, if you've got business in the camp, then you can do that, or you can leave. It's up to you.
I don't think I have any particular business. I might see if I might ask if there was any if it's possible to kind of look at Panagata's personal possessions, see if there's anything of importance, any kind of a knickknack or something that I can just carry. Zyle's kind of interested in having a little bit of a totem, essentially, of her.
I think
you're
carrying on a mission. Absolutely.
I think you're basically told that she lived a fairly simple, aesthetic sorry, not aesthetic, ascetic.
Minimalist.
Ascetic, yes.
Ascetic, minimalist, military lifestyle. But you do know about the garden that she had. Right.
Yeah.
And maybe there's something that you can like a flower or something you can take from.
Yeah, I'll pick a flower to see if I can press it, preserve it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely doable as a thing. You get some sort of feel while you're in the garden. You get some sort of feeling of a presence or some sort of something while you're there, but it isn't distinct enough to manifest any real feeling or voice or anything.
Yeah, they just kind of look around and they're thinking, sorry, yeah, I'm fine.
O2 levels getting a bit low.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay, so back towards Void City then. You take the speeder, all of you in the slightly bloodied speeder. Make your way back to Void City. The jungle, as it always does, has thins out the closer you get to the city as it's pushed back by the environmental teams and so forth. and you make your way to the like entrance to the underground. Do you want to take the speeder to like the ship, like sort of dock it up, or I assume so, right?
Don't think we're going to be making any pit stops.
Okay, so you bring the speeder.
Goodbye, Langley. I will miss your singing.
Good old Langlier. You bring the speeder around to the ship and like pull it in. Is there anything you want to do in Void City, like actually go in, like talk to anyone, do anything?
Do we need supplies or anything like that?
Well, I mean, 2 of you have been mandated with tasks by Utico, but I'm not sure that you really care at this point. So, I mean, you could go for supplies, or like to talk to Madame Marani, or to check on Haverford, or like.
I think we send a message to them, like through somebody who's passing through the gate, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think sending messages might be the best way to handle this.
Oh, one of the things you do notice while you're like outside, sort of, at the spaceport area, like doing stuff near your ship, is a bunch of Jawas being arrested, basically, like being led in, like to like Vode City, in a little gang.
Not about that life. Yeah, I think sending a message. I think Zyle's going to send a message onward to Haverford, basically going full on Gandalf on him, being like, "Keep it secret, keep it safe."
Okay, yeah, you just want to like reinforce to Haverford that stuff is going on and that they're being watched. Yeah, he sends you back a message that is equally vague. But seems to get across that he understands what you're talking about.
Thanks for your patronage. We hope to see you again.
Yeah, it's just one of those like see you when we see you kind of situations.
It might be some time until I see you again. Until then, please keep it secret. Please keep it safe.
I mean, we've been talking for ourselves, but I think Mabel's probably the most likely one to need to do something in the city.
Yeah. What's she need to do, girl?
Yeah, I think she does not send anything through. I think she's just gonna let all the droids do their thing, whatever that may be. She's had a bit of a complicated experience with them recently.
It's kind of
feeling weird
sad
about it.
Powerlessness,
and
right? They've all just gone to Utico.
And the really great thing about that is we can talk about that obligation like moving forward, because I think it's the one that's the most difficult to like maintain if we move away from here. So like we'll
it
see
might shift to being more about her ex-imperial status elsewhere.
And that's what I was thinking, right? Like we can change the obligation, or like insert a new one. These kinds of things as we move on. So am I
unraveled from your obligation?
Am I hearing that you wanna get out of here? Is that
you're gonna leave the planet? Think what we're doing? Oh boy.
Mabel, you coming with us? Love to have you.
You've seen how good we are at staying conscious.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, and she just kind of tuts and says, "Well, not very. I think you need me more than anything." But
that is what I meant.
I think it is time to be moving on. And she kind of like looks out the back, like the cargo bay of the ship at Vode City, and at like the ruins of the Imperial kind of base that are vaguely visible over the jungle. And she just like goes quiet for a bit. You're not sure kind of what she's thinking. And then she turns back inside towards the ship, inside of the ship, and goes, "I could set up a good infirmary over here," and like finds her little corner of the thing and starts making herself at home.
So the ship is repaired. Like Omni has patched it up during the sort of like downtime.
It works-ish.
It works-ish, yeah. And assuming that you're going now, I can do a little like narrative exit. But I don't want to like cut over anybody's like thoughts,
I think Zyle kind of just looks out across the planet from as much of it as they can see. And it's one of those kind of moments of they're not entirely sure that it wasn't meant for them to come out here and to be as dissatisfied in the ascendancy as they were. And it's kind of a strange feeling.
All right, Zyle.
I finally get to fly this ship. All right, let's go.
Oh. I was thinking about a name.
Huh? I was thinking about a name for the speeder. I was thinking about calling it the Blood Rammer.
We're going to have a conversation. Yep.
Thank you, by the way, for saving my life.
It's what friends do.
Right.
There was totally a moment where Mabel was going to be like, yeah, I did save your life, but Omni spoke
no,
up and she just kind of like...
Zyle is looking at both of them when they say this, so
yeah,
they're not leaving Mabel out.
She goes to say something and then just like her finger curls back in and she just turns away and goes back to doing what she was doing.
I was thinking something along the lines of
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, I just got so many. I was thinking like inconvenient risk. How do we feel?
Mabel turns to you and goes, what, like some sort of desperate gamble?
Boom! That's the end. That's the end of it.
That's the last line, and we see of season 1, and we see the ship sort of like leave the dock and like fly into space above this like very purple blue sphere of a planet. As you venture into the Vodian sector, and we move forward to season 2 sometime soon. Yeah!
Oh my gosh!
We did it! We did it, team! We did a whole narrative arc! We made it through a narrative arc!
And no one important died, or was
captured,
or had bad things happen to them.
Yeah, never.
I can't remember.
So we do have a little bit of time left in terms of like the time that we got a show to do. Do we want to talk about like season 1 a little bit and about the characters, or about like how we
do it,
feel about it? Does anybody want to like start? I don't want to start yammering on about my own stuff right away.
Well, first of all, I just want to say a big thank you again to you and to everybody in the chat who like contributed to building and creating this incredible world that like you were very, very adamant we not leave anytime soon. And I'm so glad that we didn't, because I still don't feel like we got to see everything.
There's a lot. Stuff. There's a lot we didn't even look at.
And I'm so excited to come back and do the other things, like go to the research center and like really break that down and like, see the other temples. And like, there's just all of this really, really cool stuff that I'm very excited to continue to explore about Vode and about the sector. So thank you to both you and Abria and everybody that contributed to this first season of material, because it was pretty stinking awesome. As for myself, when I created Zyle, I didn't really have like a specific trajectory in mind for them. Like I just knew they were young and excited to see the universe, and homesick, obviously, a bit, because they left their family behind. I had no idea that I would end up like taking them in the direction of being, at least for now, the person at the table who's like the Force. But I liked the idea. I liked the idea of like somebody who has little to no actual experience with the Empire, with the Republic, with the Force, with any of that kind of nonsense, like suddenly being thrust into the deep end with it a little bit. And it really kind of jived with the whole premise of this character being a bit of a revolutionary, you know, in the first place, to be presented with a planet that is trying to kick off a colonizing influence. Like that really jives with who Xyle is as a character in the first place. So that kind of lined up pretty nicely. And I'm really excited to see where that goes. I didn't expect to have a force sensitive Chiss kid, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. You know, on the same note, like, yeah, the Discord is an invaluable tool for me that I 100% could not live without my lovely community members who have been contributing so much detail and so much like stuff that I would have made sort of more general, you know what I mean, like in the world. So it's just really, really cool to have like this sort of like experimental feeling, like code GM community world building stuff going on. I really enjoy and appreciate it. And if you're not part of the Discord and you want to be, you know, join, definitely 100%. We love it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I feel as if for the Discord at some point, even if I have to pay for it, like we'll do some giveaway or something like that, or as a way to say thanks.
Figure something out. Yeah,
we do a lot of work. Like some of the members there do a lot of work, and I know we say thank you and we really mean it, but also like I want to give back a little.
We'll figure something out for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So what about Mabel and Omni? Any thoughts on the characters or?
Yeah, I mean, my whole goal was to make a character that was like closely integrated with the stuff that we were with, kind of the starting situation. And so it's interesting to have that, to like find reasons to leave that behind and go, you know, move on. And so it was fun kind of finding my way to being like the character that wanted to leave maybe the most of anyone in some ways. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely true, yeah.
For the other two of us, it's kind of like a triumph and stuff. But for Mabel, it's absolutely tragic.
A lot of bittersweet there. The decoupling from one's obligation, like the activation of their own kind of you're fully independent now. You have nothing that ties you to anything anymore. You just get to be your own person now, and that can be really scary.
Well, and the real fun with that is we get to think about like what the Imperial ties obligation looks like, you know, and how that changes things, and like all the foreshadowing.
Yeah, she abandons one set to stumble into another, right? Like I think the whole Imperial bit will become much more noticeable and more of a problem elsewhere, right, from Bode. So
yeah, because it's like you still carry that sort of like image with you, you know what I mean, no matter how like unique or individual you like sort of make yourself.
Yeah, does season 2 Mabel have a different like paint job? Is she like have we done that? Have we had
I know we might have to do a makeover in season 2. We'll see.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to wait for the friction to come up.
Give it a chance, right?
Yeah.
What about Omni, Dave? I thought it was really interesting when you decided to like just be non-violent, you know, like entirely. That seems like an off character choice for your like usual D&D style, you know, like adventuring.
Yeah, it was really nice. I don't play very many different systems. It's mostly D&D and Pathfinder for me. So when we were talking about the system, and you convinced me that it would be possible to play a character kind of however, and it'd still be useful.
Yeah.
Like you say, it was very out of character for me. And I think kind of the place I was mentally when making the character. Yeah, I won't get too much into oversharing. I do that all the time. I'm trying to be better about it. Just kind of felt like a really interesting sort of experiment for me. And again, strangely, I think Omni is probably my favorite character I've ever made.
Oh man,
like
that's cool.
In 7-8 years
Aw.
of role playing,
I'm
I
so
think
happy
Omni's
to hear
my
that.
favorite. Yeah, and it's in no small part to like to Andrew, to Aki, to you, to the chat, to Abria and Gabe, all like shaping them. And I just like having I feel like I understand them the best as well. Like the kind of internal thing of, I knew at some point they would have to do something violent, and in defense of their friend was like the perfect opportunity.
I thought it was
that might have been the only way out of that.
It was definitely one of the like the least complicated ways. Like there are other ways, but there would have been alternate opportunities for the Chiss agent to like hurt people or like whatever. It was like the only simple way to get out of that problem for sure. I actually had to look up the
very effective, and I got to come.
I had to look up the Chiss agent's like stats. They're like a stat line I pulled straight from the book. Because there's a stat line in the book called Chiss Mercenary.
Perfect.
And they're a Nemesis level stat line, and they can survive. They can survive 20 damage by 2. So, it was a pretty effective move considering it was like a high level NPC.
I'm really surprised I succeeded on that roll. That was incredibly.
It was super cool. Yeah.
Also, Omni Brogbo is the best name I've ever.
It's a pretty good name. Speaking about the NPCs, like in general, I feel like I did a lot of forecasting with the NPCs. I tried to like bring them up or like have them interact with you in some way that was like non-hostile or some way that was like, like casual, and then showcase how dangerous they can be or showcase like who they are sort of later on, and broadcast these things for the potential for like bigger villainy moving forward. You know what I mean? Like having that conversation with you this session with Zala, like really let me sort of like crystallize a little bit of that character and make me think about like what her motivations are for season 2, like how she's going to move, like how versus how you're going to move, and like what she's up to, that kind of stuff. And I've tried to keep that in mind for like all the NPCs, a little bit of like, well, they're not just like a cardboard cutout for you to interact with. Like I want to make sure they feel like they're a person doing like person stuff. And
some of them were like kind of almost fake nice enough to be like, Omni kind of doesn't care if they work for a corporation at the beginning, but slowly the stuff like becoming friends with Zyle and Mabel, just kind of starting the seeds of that, and then starting to see like through the cracks in the facade and being like, oh, they say lots of nice things and they give us a lot of credits, but also
the terrible people who are pillaging this planet of its resources.
We'll come back when we're level 20.
Yeah, I mean, I remember at the very beginning of this campaign, like in the conceptual stages of this campaign, people were very thoughtfully, I think I remember hearing from you, Dave, was that we want to be the good guys. You know what I mean? Like we don't want to be the like scum or the like morally ambiguous or the like evil but fun to watch squad. Like we want to be the good guys in this one. And I built myself in chat. We built a lot of the world, and myself in the Discord built a lot of the world, and Abria, obviously at the beginning, a lot of Abria as well. Built the world around this idea that I could present you with a lot of evil, easy choices. Like, do you want to make it simple? Do you want to make it easy to get what you want? Then you can do this like bad thing, or you can associate with these like bad people, right?
It's like in an RPG when you go back and you decide you're going to do like an evil playthrough after you've done a good one, and you start, and the first like options are really easy to pick, and as you go, they're kind of more and more evil until like the point you're like, I don't know if I can be this evil.
Yeah,
it's Undertale. It's Undertale genocide run. I could never ever do it. I don't think I
Nah.
could ever do it. It would just hurt me too much.
Kind of a little bit of a psychopath if you do it.
I already did it.
Just like a little bit. I'm judging.
Yeah, no, I did it. Yeah, I like that was kind of the plan, was to like present this. We created this organization, this Utica organization, as a sort of like, they're legit, but they're not really legit. But they want to seem legit so they can do stuff that is like, kind of morally not okay.
And the Republic wouldn't do anything about it.
No.
It's all above board enough that they'd never get in trouble.
Well, and the other thing is, like, they're outside of anybody's jurisdiction, right? The Empire is pulled back.
So.
The Empire is pulled back from this section of the Outer Rim. The Republic hasn't really enforced anything here. They're kind of, like, living by their own rules and, like, trying to enforce their own will, right? Which often leads to, violence and horrid sort of, like, assertions of power in a vacuum sort of stuff. But also I sort of wanted to mix that with, when I saw we were getting interested in like the Force ruins and the stuff like that, I wanted to make sure that I mixed it in with like some, Indiana Jones style Ark of the Covenant, like weird Nazi mysticism, you know what I mean? Like because the Empire is so closely related to that sort of allegory, like having a weird science division of the Empire just like made sense to me as like a thing they would have and do have in canon quite a lot.
When I realized the through line of why everybody was doing all the things that they were doing, and it all kind of slotted together, I was like, oh. And I kept stopping sessions and just feeling like, oh.
Those moments.
So
those moments are always dear to my heart when I'm like, Dave has realized what is happening. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good.
Feels good. Even better than solving a crocodile man puzzle. Actually, that was a bad example.
The crocodile man puzzle was the worst puzzle. But speaking in general of like what I want to be doing, my plan is to stay in the Vode sector mostly. Like the galaxy is open to you. If you decide in season 2,
go to Tatooine.
Yeah, if you want to go to Tatooine, you can. Or if you want to go to Coruscant, you can.
I think there are way too many scenes in Star Wars that happen in Tatooine, but that's only because we only have so many environments to film in on this planet.
Yeah, but like those places will be open to you if that's what you want to do. But the objectives of your like main quest, quote unquote, are going to be in the Vode sector, and the Vode sector is going to be non-canonic places that me and the Discord come up with, like during our sort of creative sessions and GM streams and so forth. Because I think that's where we've had the most fun, is like non-canonic Star Wars-ish stuff.
It just feels like the tone is perfect, like blimp sharks and like the ruins having like this weird lab with a rancor in it, and having
Cordyceps zombies.
Yeah,
zombies.
and like the medallion helping you part the forest. I was like, yeah, this is Star Wars. This is the Star Warsiest.
Yeah, and the riffing on Star Wars stuff is a lot more fun than
like
slavishly recreating canon locations
exactly,
and stuff. I'm not a big canon person personally.
Me neither when it comes to this kind of thing. I know a lot of the canon, and there was a time where I was like encyclopedically knowledgeable about it. That time is past. You know what I mean? Like I'm only encyclopedically knowledgeable about the stuff I really cared about back then anymore. Yeah, the tone is very important. The like Star Wars tone is like the important thing to preserve, I think. I don't expect that we're gonna be away too long before we can hit season 2. Like a week, 2 weeks at most. I would hope. So like
just a hiatus.
Yeah, so like just make sure you're keeping your eyes on stuff, and I'm gonna keep doing the GM streams because I think we can like ramp up for season 2, like with some more specifics and some sort of general arc of the system and what have you. We'll
probably meet the new cast member. Like we'll meet them, but won't introduce them. And then I'm wondering if it's worth having like a session 0 for season 2 in terms of like, it's not really a session 0, but like some way broadcasting the decision making of kind of where we're going to go. Because if we start the first session of season 2 just being like, well, there's this planet and we're going to just like,
yeah, you want to do kind of like a ramp up for season 2. We can.
I think that makes sense.
I think we can probably do that.
Everybody's
I have to talk to some people and get some stuff like moving on it. You know, my
art of Omni Brockbo.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try and get art for our player characters, you know, and stuff like that, which is stuff I dropped the ball on. You get session 0.5 of recapping season 1 and a rough outline, for our like what we want to do. I think it's a good idea. Yeah, session 0.2. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's kind of like all I wanna go over. I don't think there's like much I can talk about further than what we've said. Of all the TTRPG stuff I have done, I've heartily enjoyed being your Star Wars game master, my dear friends, during this time, and I'm hoping I get to do it for at least a couple more seasons. you know. And we'll do our shout outs probably like around now, I guess.
We can keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger until at some point George Lucas is going to step in and like retcon the first season where I made up that shit about clams, and he's going to be like, no, that's what happens on One Girl.
I want Vode on the Wikipedia. That's my like a Vode canon. That's what that's my goal. But anyway, let's do our shout outs. Aki, you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I am Aki, and you can find me on Twitter at MixGenie in a Bottle. That's MXGINIINABOTTLE. My entire Twitch streaming schedule can be found on my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ShidariAki. That's SHIDAREAKI. Tomorrow, you can catch me in an episode of Let's Get Wildmount over on Critical Bard's channel. We're playing 5e D&D set in the Wildmount setting of Exandria for Critical Role. And then on Sunday, we are currently on a hiatus from New Pantheon, but that will be returning soon. You can catch me on Monday here playing Candlekeep, or not here, D&D Twitch with Roll20, playing Candlekeep Mysteries. That is at 1 p.m. PST my time. And then at 6:30 PST, you can catch me playing with the Stream Punks over on Q Times. On Tuesdays, starting on June 1st, you can find me over on twitch.tv/Indiecade, playing on the show RP Game Changers, where I co-host with one comic book writer extraordinaire, Colin Kelly. And on Wednesdays, you can catch me starting from this upcoming Wednesday over on Saving Throw Show, playing All Games, No Masters, the GM-less tabletop RPG show that I produce with the channel. And that's my schedule right now. Make sure to come check me out.
Wonderful. Dave, you want to go next?
Sure. Well, I normally say all the thanks here, but I think we got that.
We
covered,
did all that,
in the previous bits. So, for my personal stuff, you can follow me on Twitter at Dave_the_human. I play the other Candlekeep Mysteries. I'm part of that as well on Mondays. But that's pretty much it for me at the moment. I don't know. I'm almost feeling I'm like on the cusp of being like, maybe I could manage 3 shows a week. Maybe somebody wants me on another game. I don't know.
I'll just pitch more games to Roll20 and we'll just play more games together, Dave.
Yeah. I'm kind of bored of you though. I'm not going to.
Whoa!
I'm kidding. I have much of it.
No, of course.
Okay. I get it. But that's pretty much it.
Okay, all right. Andrew.
I'm Andrew, and you can follow me on Twitter at CommutingCrow. You can also keep an eye on Evil Hat Publishing for the eventual release of my role-playing game, Girl by Moonlight, a game of tragic magical girls forged in the dark.
When that comes out, we're going to play it, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, good.
You should submit it to Indicate.
Because we should do that. And of course, there's me. Hello, I'm DistractedElf. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf. You can find any information about anything I'm doing basically there. I am very happy to have been able to. It's nice to like complete a thing. I know that sounds weird to say, and I know it's only season 1 and we're not done, and there's like a bunch more Star Wars Desperate Gamble to come. But it's nice. It's a really good feeling to like have a creative thing, sort of like come into a season 1 finisher. Big thanks to everybody who's contributed to that in any way. Roll20. If you like what you've seen today and you find yourself thinking, I would also like to play a Star Wars game on the internet with my friends from disparate locations all across the globe, then you can do so by signing up for Roll20. You can do that at www.roll20.net. You can sign up for free and play whatever tabletop game you basically want to over the internet using the power of the tubes and wires that connect us all. I think that's it.
Yeah, keep an eye on Roll20 app on Twitter, because that's probably where we'll announce stuff about the second season.
Yeah,
as well.
and I don't expect the hiatus to be long. Maybe like a week, 2 weeks. So don't expect us to be gone long. We'll be back very shortly. And I'll see you guys later. Bye, friends.